both of my heels are turned and I am ready to start picking up stitches. Now, I am picking up stitches on these 2 socks, and they are 2 at a time socks. So the pattern says one thing, but we're going to do something slightly different so that we can keep doing them 2 at a time. Okay, so I just finished doing this second heel turn. So what I have to do now, by the way, your yarn should be on the right side again when you're looking at it should be on the right side when you're looking at the correct side of the work. Right side, right side. Okay. So I had to pass the stitches from this heel, from this needle to this one, so that I could work this heel. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pass all of these dudes back over there. Okay, so these are all back over there. So now we're back on one needle end. I've got a right side here and I've got yarn ready to go. All right, so the pattern says knit across heel stitches, then pick up and knit 14 stitches along the edge of the heel flap plus 1 extra, okay? All right, so we're gonna start on this sock here. Let me untangle here. We're going to first knit across the heel stitches, just like it says, and there should be 16 when you're all done. All right, so now I'm going to pick up 14 stitches along the side here, okay? Now, again, picking up stitches can be a little bit fussy because it's tough to tell where they need to go. So what I want to show you here is on the side, see between my fingers, you can kind of see the loops that are on the side. We're going to go under both legs of those loops, okay? Now, there's one right here at the very start, but there's already this loop through it, so we're going to skip way down here and we're going to start there. So I'm going to go into this first one. Okay, so I'm going to go in under this first one where it looks like I should be going. Yep, so there's this one. I'm going to skip way down here. I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, so now it says to pick up one more so that a hole doesn't form. So I like to go, let me straighten this out here. Okay, see how there's these ladders right here between these gray stitches? Okay, so there's some spaces. I like to add a stitch in there so that a hole doesn't form. So I'm just going to go under 2 of the ladders and we're just going to pick up another one right there. Okay, all right, so now the pattern says once you have picked up the stitches along the edge, you're supposed to knit across the bottom stitches, except for I can't really do that because there's no needle there. So we're just going to hold for a moment. All right, so if I straighten this out, let me just pull all of this onto this needle. So you can see that we have picked up stitches only along one flap. We still have to knit across here. sorry, we still have to knit across here and then pick up stitches here too, okay? So that's going to be a minute. We're just going to hold that thought there. And we're going to repeat what we just did on this side, okay? So I'm going to quickly just do the same thing. I'm going to knit across these, and then I'm going to come down here after I've picked up 14, and I'll meet you right there. Be right back. Okay, so I've gotten all the way across this heel too, so you can see that these heels are identical. Both of the left sides have stitches picked up. So the pattern says that I am to, well, I'm going to turn it over now. The pattern says you're supposed to knit across the instep stitches. Now the instep stitches means the one that goes across the top of the foot is the instep. The ones over here are the heel. Look at my cute little heels. They're so cute. Okay, so I can now knit across these instep stitches on this sock. I couldn't on this one because that was there. That's fine. But I do need to place a marker. So I'm going to grab a marker. I'm going to slide it on. I'm going to kind of pull this way. And oops, slip my marker. And now I can continue, and it's time for a stripe, so that's no problem. That's pretty easy. So I'm going to just knit all the way across this guy like this. All right, coming to the end. All right, so this is a little crazy. Let's just kind of take a look at what we're looking at here. All right, so I have gone across the top of the heel. I've picked up stitches here. Top of the heel, picked up stitches. I've now gone across the instep just like this, okay? I still have to pick stitches up from over here. However, I don't want to do it with this needle. If you can imagine this whole loop of stitches, we are going to do decreases every other round right here. So all of these stitches are going to slim down to 30 stitches again, just like we have here. So I don't want to attach this needle, which is on the instep stitches, on the heel stitches. I want this to continue across on the other set of instep stitches. So again, we're just going to put these on hold for now. We've knitted across here. That's fantastic. We do need to place another marker, so I'll just throw one on the needle right here for now. All right, so now it's time to knit across the instep stitches on the other side. So we're going to shove this guy in here, okay? And we're going to pull this apart. Let's see, that's over there. I'm going to find my live yarn here, and now I'm going to knit across these instep stitches, just like this. All right, that's the last one. Okay, so the pattern says after you knit across the instep stitches, it's now time to pick up and knit stitches on this side too. Okay, so we want to do the same amount, which is 15. I'm going to move this out of the way. We've got this here. Let me just pull some yarn out of here. Okay. So now I'm going to scooch this here, and let me get my tail toward the inside. Now the first stitch I'm going to pick up is in these ladders. We're doing the same thing on this side, that's just going to be backwards. So I'm going to kind of go under here, and there is my extra one, and now there needs to be 14. So now I'm going to grab 14 stitches on my way up. 1. Okay, so this is getting kind of crazy here. Ugh. All right, so, I did forget to put a marker right here at the end, so I'll grab one. You'll find that we probably are not going to need these here shortly, but We'll put a marker there to divide. Okay. All right, so this side is done. Let's just push this way, and we're going to pull this one this way, so we kind of get this needle back into the work here, and then we'll assess this. I'm going to pull that way so nothing falls off. All right, I'm going to shove this one back into this. La, la, la. Okay, and let's pull this one closer like this. Okay. All right, so now it's time to knit across these stitches. So I'm just going to pull this way. Okay, just like that. All right, so we still have to pick up stitches on this side here. So what we're going to do is after we knit across this one, then we're going to swing down here and pick up these stitches. So basically what the top of your needle is going to be doing is it's going to go up and around, across, up and around. That's only temporary. It's going to make this crazy wave in your needles. And then of course on this side, the bottom needle just goes straight across, instep stitches here, instep stitches here. Okay, so you are still on the right track. So now what we're going to do is we are going to just knit across these guys as well. So I'm knitting across the heel stitches, and then I am going to knit down the flap stitches as well. So I'm going to get all the way across here. All right, now I'm knitting my flap stitches, just like this. All right, so this sock on the right-hand side of the needles is in the round again. I have heel stitches picked up on all sides of the flap. We are good to go there. All right, so there's that guy. Now I'm going to kind of put this guy aside, and I'm going to find my live contrast yarn from this sock, which is down here, because I knit across the instep stitches just like this. Ta-da! Okay, so now using this needle, I'm going to pick up in the first one here, just like this, in the ladder, and then 14 up the side. All right, that's fantastic. Now I'm going to take this needle and shove it down here. And now, just like I did the other side, I'm going to go ahead and knit across all of my heel stitches and the flap on the other side. All right, I have 2 stitches left here. Awesome. Okay, so let's straighten this bad boy out a little bit, and let's look what we've done. Okay, so we're going to flip this over, and we'll pull this needle out and give this some slack so you can kind of see. All right, so There we go. That's what I wanted to show you. So this needle down here is going through these two, and then this one comes up and around and up and around, okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to decrease. We're never going to decrease across the instep stitches. We're just going to continue working in a pattern of this guy, okay? And you're going to decrease here, bloop, by putting two together, here by putting two together, here by putting two together, and here by putting two together. So let's take a look at the pattern. Okay, so we are now on round 2 right here, okay? We already did 1 round of knitting all the way across. That was to get us all established and pick up stitches and all of that. We are now at round 2. Every even round, you're going to do a decrease, okay? So we've got markers in several different places. Basically, we don't need these markers because we're doing magic loop. We know that as soon as we get here, we're going to do a decrease. As soon as we get here, we're going to do a decrease. Here we do a decrease, here we do a decrease. But we only do that on the even rounds. We are not going to decrease on the odd rounds because we don't want to decrease too quickly. If you do a decrease every round, the sock won't fit. So you're going to do it every other round, okay? Now, as for the front part of the foot, on the instep stitches, we have to pay attention and knit in pattern here. So I only have 1 row of white right here, but as soon as I get to the point where I have gray, I'm going to need to rejoin the gray and continue in pattern, okay? And you will also continue that stripe across the heel. So here's what's going to happen. As soon as you get 4 of this, you're going to put this aside, just like we did in here. Let it sit in here. You're going to rejoin the gray, and then you're going to go across the instep stitches and all the way around the heel. So the stripe will continue during your decreases around the back side of the heel, and it's going to look very lovely when it's all done. Okay, so we are on a decrease round. Let's take a peek at what this is going to look like. We don't need to worry about the gray yet. We have some time before we have to switch to that. So let me get my yarn all untangled here. So let's see. This belongs to which ball here? Oh, this one. So we're gonna just swap these over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is my live yarn is over here, and for this one, it is also over here, okay? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to knit across the instep stitches, okay? I'm going to follow the cable, I'm going to knit across the instep stitches. When I get here, I am going to knit 2 together, then I'm going to knit across here. Then down here, I'm going to slip, slip, knit. Then you're going to knit around whole without decreases all the way around. Then on the next one, you're going to knit across here. You're going to do a knit 2 together all the way across, slip, slip, knit. Knit 2 together all the way across, slip, slip, knit. Then you're going to knit around even. You're going to continue in this manner until the number of stitches on your heel decreases back down to 30. Once you are at 30 stitches again on that heel, you will be able to continue knitting in the round. It's going to look like a tube, just like this. You're going to be back to this stripe, just like this, okay? Then we're going to continue on, and you're going to knit that for as long as you want until it's time to do the toe. All right, so this part can be a little bit fussy with all of the pieces on the needles and also paying attention to the decreases. So I'll make sure and take a photo of this, and I'll write a little post about where you're supposed to decrease and what it should look like on the needle so that you don't have to keep referring back to this video. And then once you keep doing decreases on the edge right there and you have 30 stitches across the heel, then you're going to be ready to just keep going and do it for as long as you want. Let's see. Work stripes until you're approximately 2 inches from your desired length. So if these are for you, I like to measure my foot so that I know exactly when 2 inches before the heel is going to be. So go ahead and knit until 2 inches before the heel. Ask lots of questions in the group if you need it. I'm happy to help because this is a little bit fussy. And I will see you when it's time to do the toe. Bye.